Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. Today, we're journeying back in time over 2,500 years ago to ancient China to explore the life of one of the most influential thinkers in human history, Confucius. You've probably heard his name or a witty saying attributed to him, but who was the man behind the philosophy? Confucius, or Confu as he was known by name, was born in 551 BCE in the state of Lu, which is modern-day Shandong province. This was a tumultuous period in Chinese history known as the Spring and Autumn period. The old Zhou dynasty was crumbling, and various states were locked in a constant struggle for power. It was a time of moral decay and political chaos, and this environment profoundly shaped Confucius's worldview. Coming from a family that had fallen from aristocracy, Confucius experienced poverty in his youth. Yet, he was a voracious learner, dedicating himself to mastering the 6 arts: rites, music, archery, charioteering, calligraphy, and mathematics. This well-rounded education prepared him for a career in government, which he hoped would be his path to restoring order and morality to society. He held several minor government posts in his home state of Lu, where he tried to implement his political and ethical ideals. He believed that a ruler should lead by moral example, not by force, and that a just society is built on strong family bonds and respect for tradition. However, his ideas were often seen as too idealistic by the power-hungry rulers of his day. Frustrated by the lack of real change at around the age of 55, Confucius left his home state. For over a decade, he wandered through the various states of China, accompanied by a small group of loyal disciples. He sought a ruler who would listen to his wisdom and put his principles into practice. Though he never found that ideal patron, this period was crucial. It was during these travels that he refined his teachings and gathered the followers who would later compile his sayings into the famous book, the Analects. Confucius eventually returned to his home state of Lu in his late 60s. He spent his final years teaching and editing ancient classical texts. He passed away in 479 BCE, perhaps feeling like a failure for not achieving his political ambitions. But he couldn't have been more wrong. His teachings, which emphasized personal and governmental morality, correctness of social relationships, justice, and sincerity, would go on to shape East Asian culture and civilization for millennia. His philosophy, Confucianism, became the bedrock of Chinese society, influencing its education system, government, and family life right up to the modern day. From a man who considered his own life a failure, came a legacy that has guided billions. Thank you so much for joining me on this historical journey. If you found this interesting, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next video. See you next time.